For today, we're going to talk about the multi-word verbs. Before we proceed, let's define what is multi-word verbs. Someone please read the definition of multi-word verbs.
Santiago po.
Okay, Santiago, please.
Multi-word verbs are verbs that consist of more than one word. It consists of a verb and one or two particles or prepositions. Example: up, over, in, down.
And another, please read.
Raimundo po.
Sige po,
Ma-
please.
Many multi-word verbs serve an idiomatic purpose. This means that they should not be taken literally. Rather, they have a figurative or metaphorical meaning.
Okay. For multi-word verbs, from the word itself, multi-word, it means that it consists of more than one word. And in multi-word verbs, it conveys figurative or metaphorical meaning. So, let's proceed to the components of the multi-word verbs, which are particle and preposition. Let's define them individually. So first, what is particle? Please read.
Spinetta po.
Okay, Spinetta, please.
Particle is a word that has grammatical function but does not fit into main parts of speech. Example, turn on, put out, fill in, show off.
Okay, in particle, the highlighted word is, in the example, the highlighted words are on, out, in, off. So it seems like it is similar to preposition, but in particle, always remember that in particle, it doesn't follow direct object, while in the preposition, it follows object of the preposition after its preposition. Okay, please read the preposition, the meaning of preposition.
Santiago po.
Okay, Santiago, please.
Preposition. It is a word that shows direction, location, or time, or introduces or followed by an object.
Uh, like what I have said, preposition of followed by an object or the object of preposition. Also, in preposition, it describes the direction, location, time, and in this slide, the most common prepositions are above, across, against, among, along, around, at, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, by, down, from, in, into, near, off, on, to, toward, under, upon, within, with. Now, let's take deeply in difference between particle and preposition. In preposition, it is actually used in prepositional phrase, and it follows object of the preposition or a noun. And also, it answers the WH question. While in particle, it has no direct object. It's used in phrasal verbs, and it is not used as preposition like we talked about earlier, and it used as figurative meaning. Let's now give an example of the preposition in a sentence. Please read. You can
Raimundo
read
po.
the first sentence. Okay, Raimundo, please.
John lived down the street.
Okay, for you, what do you think here is the preposition?
Down is the preposition and the direct object is street.
Okay, very good. Street is the object of the preposition. And for the particle, please read.
Santiago.
Spinetta.
Okay, Santiago, please.
Um, we finally lived down that accident.
Okay, like what we said earlier, uh, in particle, it convey figurative meaning. It is contrary with the preposition. In preposition, it convey its literal meaning and it follows the direct object or the object of the preposition. While in particle, it convey the figurative meaning. So, live down has its figurative meaning. Live down means to be able to overcome, reduce, or cause others to forget about something. So in the sentence, we finally live down that accident. So live down means to overcome or to reduce the effects that accident. So now we know the difference between the preposition and particle. Let's proceed to three types of multi-word verbs. Number one is the prepositional verbs. It consists of a main verb and a preposition. Next one is phrasal verbs. It is consists of a main verb and a particle. And phrasal prepositional verbs is consists of main verb, a particle, and a preposition. Now let's define them individually. Prepositional verbs consists of a main verb and preposition. Main verb plus preposition is the formula for prepositional verbs. Again, what is preposition? Guys, what is preposition?
Santiago po.
Santiago, please.
Preposition. It is a word that shows direction, location, or time, or introduces or followed by an object.
Okay, thank you. Now let's have the preposition in a sentence again. The sun is above the clouds. The highlighted word here is above, so it indicates the place or in a preposition. So clouds here is the object of the preposition. Now let's have the prepositional verb in a sentence. I run into my roommate on my way to class. Again, in multi-word verbs, we use more than one words. Like this in the prepositional verbs. The formula in prepositional verbs is main verb plus the preposition. Here, in the second sentence, run is the main verb. The into is the preposition. So, my roommate is the object of the preposition here. I run into what? In my roommate. So it answers the question, what? That's the difference between the preposition in a sentence and the prepositional verbs. In the preposition, we use only its preposition. And in prepositional verbs, it requires main verb before its preposition. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's go for the examples. Please read.
Santiago po.
Okay, Santiago, please. Please read all the examples. Okay?
Okay po, sir. She is suffering from heart failure. Anna is listening to music. Ken apologizes for being insensitive. Banana can prevent from having a stroke.
Okay, thank you. Any volunteer, please tell me what, in the first sentence, what is the prepositional verb and the object of the preposition? Anyone? Anyone? No one? So, here in the first example, she is suffering from heart failure. Suffering is the main verb and from is the preposition. So that suffering from is the prepositional verb here. And heart failure is the object of the preposition. Because we can answer the question, what from here? She is suffering from what? From heart failure. And next in the second sentence, Anna is listening to music. Listening to is the prepositional verb because listening is the main verb and to is the preposition. So that it followed by its object of the preposition, which is what,
Music.
guys?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Music
music.
po.
And next example, Ken apologizes for being insensitive. Guys, who can tell me what is the prepositional verb here in the sentence?
Raimundo po.
Okay, Raimundo, please.
Apologizes for.
Okay, very good. And what is the object of the preposition, Raimundo?
Insensitive.
Okay, thank you. Because it can answer the question what in the sentence. Ken apologizes for what? For being insensitive. So that insensitive is our object of the preposition. For our last example, banana can prevent from having a stroke. Prevent from is the prepositional verb. Prevent is the main verb and from is the preposition. And having a stroke or stroke is our object of the preposition. Are we clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. Now let's proceed to the next type of multi-word verbs, which is phrasal verbs. Now let's define it. Please read.
Raimundo po.
Espineda po.
Okay, Spineda, please.
Phrasal verbs consist of main verb plus particle or adverb or preposition. Figurative meaning.
Okay, like what we said earlier, in the definition of particle, it also convey the figurative meaning because particle is the one of the formula or the components of the phrasal verb. So in phrasal verb, we usually use figurative meaning. For the example of figurative sentences, don't give away the ending to the movie. Any guess, guys? Who can uh, who can tell me the definition of giveaway in this sentence? Anyone? Any guess?
Santiago po.
Okay, Santiago, please.
Uh, Reveal a secret po.
Okay, thank you. That's correct. Don't give away the ending to the movie. So the phrasal verb here is give away. So give is the main verb and away is the particle. So the meaning of give away here is reveal a secret because the one who is watching movie doesn't want to know the ending of the movie because he or she doesn't finish it yet. So he don't want to know what will happen in the end of the movie. Right? Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next sentence in figurative meaning, the professor went over the answers to the exam. Went over is our phrasal verb here. Went is our main verb. Over is our particle. Why we said that over is particle here? Because if we analyze this sentence, uh, in prepositional phrase, the object of the preposition is followed or preceded by its preposition. So in here, the answers is not the object of the preposition. So that over is our particle. So went over, it means to review. The professor reviewed the answers to the exam. Next is I was dressed down by the teacher for cheating. Dressed down in the sentence is to express a strong disapproval. Um, all we know that cheating is not tolerable. So we as a future teacher We don't want our student to cheat in our exam or in our quiz. So, dress down here means to express a strong disapproval. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, let's talk about the different types of phrasal verbs. The first one is transitive, intransitive, separable, and non-separable. Now, let's proceed to transitive phrasal verbs. It requires an object. It is possible to put the object between the verb and the adverb or preposition or put it afterwards. There's no difference in meaning. Now, let's proceed to examples. He took off his tie when he got home. Uh, Guys, who can identify here? Uh, Before we proceed to this example, I will define first in a basic grammar what is a transitive verb. Transitive verb. Transitive verb is like a prepositional verb, but in transitive verb, in this sentence, it follows after the object of the preposition or the direct object. It follows by the adverbial phrase. So this in sentence, we use it in transitive verb in phrasal verb. Uh, in the sentence, he took off his tie when he got home. So took off is the phrasal verb. Took is the main verb. Of is the preposition because it follows the direct object or the object of the preposition. But we have a adverbial phrase here so that this of is a particle. So took off means, what do you think, guys, is the meaning of took off?
Raimundo po.
Raimundo, please.
I guess it's remove.
Okay, very good. He took off his tie when he got home. The meaning of the words took off is remove. And now let's proceed to next example. He need to fill out this form to register for the course. Fill out is our phrasal verb. Fill out means to complete. So, uh, fill out is our phrasal verb. So, it follows by the direct object which is form because it answers the question what. So, the adverbial phrase here is to register for the course. You need to fill out what? You need to fill out the form. So, the form here is the direct object and the adverbial phrase here is to register for the course because it answers also the question why. Next is the third sentence is check out that website. It's really great. So check out here it means look at or go to. And website is our direct object. So here it is really great is our adverbial phrase because it answers the question why. Why we should check out that website? Because it is really great. So here, check out what? That website. So it is the transitive phrasal verb. And now I will go back to the difference between the prepositional phrase and the transitive phrasal verb. Like in the first sentence, she is suffering from heart failure. This sentence is a prepositional verb because suffering from is our prepositional verb and heart failure is our object of the preposition. So heart failure doesn't follow any word. So it is the sentence is prepositional verb. Like in the transitive phrasal verb earlier, yeah, it follows adverbial phrases. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now let's proceed to intransitive verb. Have no direct object, It is not done to someone or something. It only involves the subject, and the opposite of transitive verb is transitive verb. Now let's have examples for intransitive verb. Bong voted in the local election. May I sit here? My daughter is growing quickly. In the first sentence, Bong voted in the local election. Like what we said earlier, intransitive verb only describe the subject and it does not follow by a direct object. So it classified the sentence classified as intransitive verb because in this sentence Bong voted in the local election. So it described the subject and the local election is not the direct object because this underlined word was describe the subject. Now in second sentence, may I sit here? Sit here is our phrasal verb. So we classified this as an intransitive verb because it doesn't follow direct object. And my daughter is growing quickly. Growing quickly describe the subject. So it is intransitive phrasal verb. Now let's proceed to separable verb. It can be separated by their object. When the object is a noun, it is usually entirely optional whether the object is placed between the verb and the particle or placed after the particle. So in separable verb, if the object is noun, we have the option to place the object between the phrasal verb or after the phrasal verb, like in the first sentence. It is those two sentences highlighted green because it is grammatically correct. The first sentence is I took my shoes off. My shoes is a noun and took off is our phrasal verb. So my shoes is a noun, so we can place it between the phrasal verb. Like in the second sentence, I took my off shoes. Took off is our phrasal verb and my shoes is our object or noun. Uh, Again, in the rule of separable verb, when it pertains to noun, we have the option to separate it or place it between or after the phrasal verb. So in the sentence, we place it after the phrasal verb, so it could be grammatically correct. Now let's proceed to another. However, when a pronoun is used instead of a noun, the pronoun must be placed between the verb and the particle. The highlighted sentence here, I took them off. So the green one is grammatically correct, and the second sentence was highlighted in red because it is grammatically incorrect. Because when we use pronoun as an object, we should place it between the phrasal verb. So I took them off. The pronoun here is them, so we should place it between the phrasal verb took and off. In the second sentence, I took off them. It sounds awkward, right? So that this sentence is grammatically incorrect because we used pronoun in the object, so it should be placed between the phrasal verb. Now let's proceed to non-separable verb. Non-separable phrasal verbs cannot be separated by their object. It can take direct object, but we cannot insert the direct object into the middle of the phrasal verb. From the word itself, non-separable verb, we cannot separate it because we use direct object. For the first example, he ran into a tree. Run into is our phrasal verb and tree is our direct object. So based on the rule, a non-separable verb, we cannot separate the we can put the object or the direct object between the phrasal verb because it's according to the rule of non-separable verb. In the second sentence, he ran a tree in two. Again, it sounds awkward and it is grammatically incorrect because it doesn't follow the rule of the non-separable verb. I had run to get on the train, but I made it. Before the test, let's go over the topic of phrasal verbs. I was debating what type of this fitness class to take and finally settled on yoga. We cannot put the train between get and on. It sounds again. It will sounds awkward. I had to run to get the train on. It is grammatically incorrect. Like in the second sentence, we cannot put we can't put the phrasal verb in between in this main verb and the particle because it again it would be grammatically incorrect. Like in the third sentence, we cannot put yoga between settled and on. When we read it, I finally settled yoga on. So that's the rule of non-separable verb. Let's proceed to our last type of multi-word verbs, which is phrasal prepositional verbs. Prepositional verbs consist of a main verb, a particle, adverb, and a preposition. Main verb plus particle, adverb plus preposition. A verb is combined with an adverb, particle, and preposition for a whole new meaning. In phrasal prepositional verbs, uh, it is the combination of all types of multi-word verbs, phrasal, and prepositional. For example, cut down on. Cut down on means to reduce how much we use or eat of something. In a sentence, I need to cut down on oily and fatty foods because they can trigger my hypertension. Cut down on is our phrasal prepositional verb. As you can notice in phrasal prepositional verb, it uses three words, which is cut, down, and on. We can easily recognize if the sentence has a phrasal prepositional verb if it is consists of three words, which are the verb, preposition, or particle. I need to cut down on oily and fatty foods because they can trigger my hypertension. Oily food, why this sentence became part of the phrasal prepositional verbs? Because it has the main verb, which is cut, down is the particle, and on is the preposition. When we say in preposition, we have the object of the preposition, which are oily and fatty foods. And when we say phrasal verb, we have here the word because it can answer the question why. So it has its adverbial phrase because they can trigger my hypertension. I need to cut down on my what? Oily and fatty foods because they can trigger my hypertension. Now let's proceed to the last example for phrasal prepositional verbs. It started to rain 10 minutes before the soccer game, so they called it off. As you can notice, again, called it off is the highlighted word, so that it is the phrasal prepositional verb. It is three words, so that it became the phrasal prepositional verb. Called it off means to postpone or cancel. Let's put it in a sentence. It started to rain 10 minutes before the soccer game, so they canceled it. Another, he really let me down when he forgot my birthday. Let me down means disappoint. He really disappointed me when he forgot my birthday. So guys, are we clear on that? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, Before we proceed to let's practice, I want to summarize those differences of multi-word verbs. When we say prepositional verb, we use main verb plus preposition and follows by uh, object of the preposition. When we say phrasal verb, it is either uh, transitive, intransitive, separable, or non-separable. But in transitive verb to general, in phrasal verb to generalize, we use figurative meaning. And for the phrasal prepositional verb, we use the phrasal and preposition. We use particle, we use the main verb, and we use preposition. Also, it follows by adverbial phrase. So, are we clear on that, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do some practice. For exercise 1, try to form a sentences using prepositional verbs, phrasal prepositional verbs. I will give you 5 minutes to uh, answer this exercise. Timer starts now. Guys, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, for prepositional verbs, I want you to answer this, Miss Raimundo.
Okay, sir.
Okay, please.
Calm down and take a deep breath.
Okay. For you, what is the preposition in your sentence?
Calm down, sir.
Again, preposition, only preposition.
Down.
Okay, for and the prepositional verb, what is the prepositional verb?
Calm.
Calm down. Okay. And for phrasal verbs, Miss Santiago, please.
It took us 2 hours to figure out the answer to his riddle.
Okay. For you, what is the phrasal verb in your sentence?
Figure out.
Okay, very good. And lastly, Mr. Spineda, please tell your answer in phrasal prepositional verbs.
I look forward to meeting you in person.
What is the phrasal prepositional verb in your sentence?
Look forward to.
Okay, very good. Now, for the next exercise, I want you to identify if the sentence is prepositional verb, phrasal verb, or phrasal prepositional verb. Um, Miss Raimundo, number 1.
Miss Brown is sitting in for Mr. Jones at the meeting.
What is the sentence?
Prepositional phrasal verb.
I want to clarify, the number 1 here is the prepositional verb because sitting in is, oh, I'm so sorry, sitting in for. I'm so sorry. Sitting in for is phrasal prepositional verb. Okay, thank you. Number 2, Sis Pineda.
We had a nasty fight the next morning. Phrasal verb. Po.
Okay, why did you say so? Why this sentence is part of the phrasal verb?
Because
What
it
is the
has
phrasal verb here?
the made up.
Okay, what's the meaning of made up?
Made up means to forgive each other.
Okay, very good. And for last number, Miss Alexandra Kim.
Yes, sir. They are riding on the bus. It is It used prepositional verb po, which is riding on.
Okay, very good. Guys, I hope you learned something in our discussion, and uh, it ends here. So thank you very much, and God bless us all.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you.